this phenomenon begins to happen. And you can repeat this if you're scientifically inclined. Etched onto the side of the crystal, it appeared to be that somebody etched a bug on there with 8 little legs and like that, but it appeared to be etched on. And there were several of them all over it. And then as time went on, several weeks went by, the bug became a relief rather than just etched on. It became a relief out. And then after a while, the bug starts crawling around the crystal. And a little while later, the bug starts swimming through the water. And a little while later, it goes to the surface and flies away. They have scientifically witnessed this.
What kind of bug?
I don't know. This article actually was just recently rewritten in Nexus magazine last month, so you can go in there and read that information. But it's just a bug. It's just a little bug with 8 little legs, and they don't know if it's the only one. There may be other things, but life came out of this water, and they can use not just crystals too. They can use rocks, from what I understand, stones. But life appeared out of this solution with nothing but water and electricity and a piece of matter inside of it. And what we're now beginning to realize is that electricity and water appears to be the key to life itself. And so in Turkey, they made this water that is super ionized, and it has 3 extra electrons. Well, you say, well, so what? 3 extra electrons. Well, the so what is that if you have a glass, and this is the water right here, by the way, but it's being diluted, this water right here. If you took this in its what's called the mother formula in its pure form, right as it's created, before it's diluted with other water, you could take a lamp, take the plug, stick it in it, and it'll light the lamp up brighter than if you put it in the wall. And it'll do it for a very, 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 very long time. It's literally just pure liquid electrons flowing through this water. And so about several months ago, I got going further back, in Germany last year, I gave a talk on the environmental cleaning work that we've been doing around the world. And I don't know what I said there, but I guess I inspired the people from Turkey that were sitting in there, and they decided that they wanted to show me what they were doing. And they tried to get me for months and months and months and months, but I was so busy, I just couldn't do it. It was just impossible. So they said they were going to send someone over to Florida to give a demonstration where I please show up, but I couldn't. I don't remember what it was, but I couldn't. So I sent someone that I work with, a man named Slim Sperling. And I know Slim, and I know he's honest and pure, and I know that whatever he saw, I could rely on. So Slim went to see this demonstration. And Slim, for those of you who know him, I always call him sort of like the cowboy Merlin. He's with cowboy clothes with a long beard, and he's amazing with his energy and prana. He can heal people, and he's incredible with what he can do. And he's very slow in talking. He's got kind of a little oaky drawl, and he talks about it. And he calls me up the first day, and he was talking rather fast. And he goes, "Ooh, this is really pretty good stuff." God, it's not slow right now. And the next day he calls me up, and he's so excited he couldn't even talk. He sounds like, "I'm so high, I can never come down." He's going on and on. Actually, it was something like, I'm higher than a hog, something or other. I don't know. And I go, "What is going on over there?" He says, "You can't believe what's going on here." And so he told me I really needed to see this. So relying on that, the Air Force a long time ago, which used to try to stop everything I was doing. I mean, they really tried to stop me, along with the CIA and the FBI, but they don't anymore, thank God. And they finally assigned someone to me. And that person is involved in the Air Force's EPA, and And I told him, I said, I'd like you to set up something in Washington, D.C. To do this. Well, they really set it up. They brought in the FBI, the CIA, the United States Air Force, and 15 major agencies of the government with their head scientists there. I mean, these are really famous people that were in that room. And me. And this guy, Ayhan Doyak, who's the Turkish man, who's really just like a child. He's a very innocent person, and he's not really a scientist, but he was there. And we witnessed chemical reactions that are considered by all known chemists in the world as being absolutely and totally, completely and utterly impossible. But it happened over and over and over again. The first thing they did is they took, the government took 2 big beakers of polluted water. One of them looked like it came out of a cesspool. It was brown, it smelled like human waste, and there was stuff floating in it, and it was horrible. And the other one looked like they took it out of some chemistry lab. It was sort of yellowish green and sort of glowed. And smelled like gasoline. And I didn't want to get near either one of them. And they put them real high on a thing, and he says, I could make this happen instantly within 3 seconds, but I'm going to do it in a different way, because when we clean up a lake or a river, we have to spray it on, and it slowly comes down. You can't mix it up. So he laid a little tiny bit of water on the surface of each of those 2 things, and then he went back over to show something else. The first thing he showed us was he took a can of motor oil, opened it up, fresh one, poured it into a little beaker about that much, took 3 or 4 drops of this water, put it in, shook it up, and in that long, the oil no longer exists on planet Earth. It completely converted the oil into proteins and amino acids and fatty acids, which is fish food. And it did it instantly at room temperature. And this is pretty amazing. What's really amazing to me about this is the analogy of what this really means. Oil is the end of life. Millions and millions and millions of years of plant life and human life and growth life and animal life all being swished down into the stuff we call oil. And here, this water comes in contact with it, and matter instantly converts it into the beginning of life, the proteins and amino acids. It goes from black to white. The stuff is a white substance. And the old one no longer exists, just by coming in contact with this water. I then watched for 5 hours one chemical reaction after another that were impossible. But what began to emerge, very subtly at first and then very more and more obvious, is the water was conscious and aware on a very high level of existence. It would go into a reaction, and it would know exactly what to do, and it didn't care what the rules were. It would convert it to whatever was good for life, period. And it would always leave the solution back at 7.0 pH, no matter where it started. Neutral. No matter where it started, and no matter what the reaction was or what the chemistry was before. It always knew exactly what to do, and it would go into one reaction with oil and do that, but in another situation, it would go into oil and do something entirely different. That we gave a demonstration to 15 major media, newspapers and television stations in California recently. And when the reporter saw it doing one thing and then doing something totally different in the same solution later, this one guy stood up and goes, Mr. Doyak, it seems like that's conscious. I mean, how can it do this in one thing and do this in another one when it seems to know what it's doing? And for the first time, Ayhan says, he says, it is. And all the whole audience stood up and clapped. They were so excited because they realized that this is something that is as extraordinary as the Bible code, where the future is being known it appears as though God is coming into this. I can't tell you everything right now, but I'll try.